Blacklisting is the action of a group or authority compelling a blacklist or a blacklist of people, countries, or other entities to be avoided or distrusted as not being acceptable to those making the list. As a verb, blacklist can mean to put an individual or entity on such a list. Why should you care? Why should you care about anything that I'm saying right now? Well, because it can affect you in the future. It could affect your family. It could affect anybody around you. And you don't know when all of a sudden you're going to slip and you're going to have the wrong opinion. You're not going to go along with the group in a very cult way. Do you like cults? I don't know. Some people do, but I don't. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told exactly what to say and when to think and how to think it and how to, talk. So if you want to live in that world, that's totally fine. You can do that. But here in America, we have freedoms. We have freedoms that we're supposed to have and how we can say things. And all of a sudden, they're going to make a big blacklist with our developing technology that we have with smartphones, with computers. Times are changing. And, we're going to resolve this one way or another. Why I'm bringing any of this up really is because it all started with a story that came out by Steven Crowder a few days ago, and he was talking about how, basically he realized that he was blacklisted. Now, he wasn't searching himself on the internet. He said that he had somebody that's trying to show one of their friends that changed my mind, one of the people that were working with Crowder, or just one of his personal friends. I'm not really sure, I don't recall exactly what he said, but somebody that he knows personally was trying to show one of his videos to them and just, get a laugh off of it, right? Or just show it for general, entertainment purposes. So they're trying to see the video, they're searching it on YouTube, and they can't find it. They can't find it by searching Louder with Crowder, by searching Steven Crowder, Changed My Mind, any of the key words that normally you would have. Instead, when you're typing in these words, it's coming up with other people's videos. So Steven Crowder, he did a lot of different experiments and different tests on different browsers and VPNs. And what he noticed is that here in America, he was very, very censored, okay? And what do I mean? Okay, he was censored by when you type in Change My Mind, when you type in Louder of Crowder, Steven Crowder, probably literally anything that would pull up a result with his videos that he's making. Everything was censored, and it wasn't just him, it was other people too, because of course, with Alex Jones, everybody thought it was just going to be Alex Jones. Of course not. With Alex Jones, it's like the dominoes, it start falling. Have you played dominoes? One starts falling, then another one, that's what's happening. So yeah, anyways, going back to Steven Crowder, and of course, everything is getting banned from his channel. The whole Carlos situation, I don't want to say his last name so that I don't get banned somehow. I feel like just saying people's names, you'll just get banned. Even if you don't say it in a negative way, you can say their whole name just to describe something. All of a sudden, boom, you're banned. I think at this point, I'm going to continue talking about Steven Crowder. But honestly, at this point, I'm kind of considering the whole thing, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out why this is happening. I feel like it's just that they don't want anybody to just have their phone out, be able to upload a video and show what's going on. Let's say you're in New York and something really bad is going on. You take your phone out, you record it. Well, then you can show the story. You can show a real angle and proof of what really happened. And I'm not saying 100%. I'm not saying that I fully believe in this. I'm saying that this is just an idea that I have. I think that a lot of different media companies, they want to be in control of the story. So therefore, they don't want the average citizen to just pull out their phone, their Samsung, their iPhone, their Pixel, whatever you have. They don't want you to pull your phone out and be able to record a video and show what really went on. Because then they can't, narrate the story and make up their own story that they want for money, for clicks. It's just an idea. And I don't want to be labeled as a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, I just want to say that. I really do think there's a very big possibility that all the censorship is just so that they can control everything, like a puppet master. They can control what people say, what people don't say, and they're pulling the strings the whole time. I mean, wake up, America. Don't you realize that the media is literally outplaying the people so they can't even prove what's going on in their own country? But it looks like YouTube, they just keep going after Steven Crowder, so that's the huge issue. It doesn't matter how much money Steven Crowder has or how much he's making or anything and how he can actually pay this off. Or, I mean, it kind of seems like it might be a little humorous from somebody looking out that is a fan of him. They can see that, yeah, he's just battling off YouTube in the courtroom and all this stuff. But, I mean, battling off a company like that is kind of like taking on McDonald's in a way. And, I mean, they have so much money, really. They do. So when you're going to court with somebody like that, it's a very, very hard for a person to do. Even if you could prove that they're lying, even if you could prove that they're at fault, it's very hard to do. So Steven Crowder, he's in that situation where, you know, it's almost impossible to really prove it, even if you are right. That's what we're dealing with right now. And there's a lot of different help that should be, you know, applied to different people that are trying to go through that. I mean, I'm not saying 100% I think that we should do it. I think that YouTube, since they have the platform open, instead of just getting, you know, sued left and right, I think that they should try to compromise, because that would be a lot easier for them and a lot easier for the people if they compromise instead of just shutting everybody down because of the opinions that they don't agree with. Steven Crowder isn't the only one that is on a blacklist. You also have like Project Veritas, you have Lauren Chen, there's Tim Pool, there's a lot more major figures. I could literally list them all and it would take forever, but you know, there's a lot of people that are being impacted by this, so that, you know, anything that they say, a lot of different names that you want to talk about, people that you know, like, you can't even talk about them. You can't have a picture. You cannot literally have a picture with Alex Jones on Instagram or on Facebook or anything like that without it getting deleted. If you take a picture with Alex Jones, if you take a picture of anybody like that, like anybody that they don't agree with, I've noticed, they will delete it. They will say that it's hateful, and they'll delete parts of the real world as if it never happened. But yeah, going back to Steven Crowder, why this is actually very, very important is because he took action. He realized what was going on, so he had people part of his team. You know, he has his lawyer, he has other people that are actually, I would say, considered professionals or have a very high education, a lot higher than me. I feel like they know what's going on. But, you know, they understand the law. They understand what's happening. So they're pushing back right now against YouTube. Steven Crowder is saying that he has even had his, you know, lawyer talk to one of the head people of YouTube. Talk to, I think, even Susan. So it's pretty big. I think that, you know, it's important to talk to them first, but if they're not going to change, if they're not going to do anything about it and make up all these ridiculous policies to try to screw the people, you know, what can you do? Look at what happened when Tim Pool went on Joe Rogan, and he literally talked to Jack, and he talked to the other woman that was supposed to be defending Twitter's brand. I mean, they didn't get anywhere. They just kept avoiding the questions left and right with all kinds of different legal excuses that they could to not answer a question. That's why I kind of love and hate the internet, because like, I like the fact that people, they can see the real world, they can see what's going on, they can get more facts and more knowledge. But at the same time, if the knowledge is going to be biased, if they're going to be shutting down other people and censoring, you know, particular voices that are conservative, that do lead a certain political branch, I mean, wow. Then why do we even need to Google things when it's just going to be rigged? If you're going to be Googling things, maybe we just need a different search engine that is not going to be biased, that's not going to try to control us and manipulate us on our thoughts. Why do we have to always Google things? Do we have to? Do we actually have to only Google things? I mean, it kind of sounds a little bit crazy because, yeah, everybody's used to Google, but we don't need to. The technology is there for other people to use, and other people know how to make search engines by now. I mean, look at DuckDuckGo, look at Brave browser, look at the other browsers starting to compete against Google and starting to get their name out there. Why do we trust Google with every single thing that we're Googling, everything that we want to put out there, and they're not being reliable, they're not being trustworthy to the American people? They don't have our back, and they're not there for us. It's the same company that is censoring everybody. They have control of Google Maps, they have control of everybody's house and Pokemon Go, and I would say everything under the sun. So much information that they have. They have all the information. But then now you can see that they're censoring people. Of course, because they have all the money, they have all the information, so now they're going after people. And I think that they just think that they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want as a company because they have all the information, they have all the politicians, they have all the celebrities, they have everything. I mean, what more? Who else could possibly work with Google? So now that they've obtained everybody in the world, they are like, they don't care anymore. They're going to use their power for evil. It's like when you look at Laura Loomer, she's not my favorite person, but she's a really good example of like somebody that's been banned, okay? She's been banned from Uber. I think she's been banned from like Uber Eats too at the same time. And she's been banned from, I think, a different bank and all these other different companies. You have all these different social media sites like Instagram, Twitter, not YouTube yet, but the list goes on, okay? And it just shows that, you know, if you're not going to say what they want to say exactly what their point of view is and how you want to say and be totally liberal, then they're going to freak out. They're going to start banning you. And they don't care. Just talking about Laura Loomer, though, I think this is kind of the reason why Steven Crowder is putting on such a different fight, because, you know, everybody is getting banned or they're just getting kicked off online for no reason. They could probably do that to Steven Crowder if they wanted to, but I think that they realize that he actually has a really big audience, and an audience that's not just, you know, depending on different stunts for the person to do. They're actually interested in their work, kind of like a talk show or like a radio show or anything like that. I mean, it's a lot different when you're not depending on them to do a stunt. I think that a lot of people, no offense to Laura Loomer or anything, that they just kind of depend on her to do a stunt instead of, you know, more of her writing. I know that she does writing. I know that she does, you know, actual journalism. But at the same time, I think that people kind of just expect that every time that they're going to hear from Laura Loomer, she's going to do something crazy in the public eye. And that's not going to be true all the time. Now, Steven Crowder, obviously, he's not crazy all the time. He's not doing that. But they're banning him. You know, he's going against them. Change is going to happen. I mean, technology, can't they see with their own eyes that people have phones in their own hands and that eventually things are just going to change? On that note, though, I think that Steven Crowder did a lot. I think that he's doing a lot to fight back with, and I fully support it. But I'm going to head out. I'm going to have another video coming very shortly. There's a lot of videos on my channel if you want to go check them out, and I'll check you next time. But if you do want to support this channel, you can go to PayPal at Living Capone. You could also go to my subscribe store at Living Capone. So I'll check you next time.